Gum health and spiritual emotional stuff, part 2. This camera organization is different, so sorry, my eyes are going back and forth. Okay, so emotional stuff regarding the gums. So the gums are this, again, we talked about this transitionary fiber between your jaw and your teeth, right? So you can see it as a support structure. So when we look at emotional issues regarding the gums, and we want to ask ourselves, am I feeling supported? Am I doing what I need to do to support myself? Gums can also have to do with decision making. Am I going to go this way? Am I going to go that way? Why am I afraid to make decisions? Why do I hesitate or second guess myself about decisions? Those kinds of things. That can have to do with bleeding gums. Because, right, so depending upon the tension and the torque of the tooth, the gums will either support it or not support it. It will help direct it or it'll fight against it. That kind of thing. So, decision making. Now, interestingly enough, bacteria tends to have the emotion of guilt attached to it. And because bacteria can really get stuck on our teeth, we have to also then look at the components of feeling guilty or made to feel guilty about your decisions, about your choices, directions you've taken or not taken. Guilt is really a pathetic emotion that we've put on ourselves. It is so hard. It is so hard to have to help people get out of this guilt feeling. And what I remind people is that when you make decisions in your life, it is based on the information and the tools that you have in the moment. So, how can you feel bad about making a decision if you didn't have the tools to make different choices? Does that make sense? And the guilt, besides attracting bacteria, and that can be anywhere in the body, the guilt is like this, it's your shoulds in your life, right? I should have done that, I should have done that, I should have this, I shouldn't have listened, I should have da-da-da. Guilt has this energy of, besides constant self-betrayal, which is not anything we need to hold on to, it has this hold about it that tells us in our mind that you have to make up for it. I have to somehow make up for that bad decision. I have to, so it really keeps you in this back, right, in the post trauma, the lack of moving forward with something that may have not turned out well. And then the mind reminds us, hey, the last time you did that didn't turn out well. And so then you start building that equation of, when I make a decision, things don't turn out well, I don't want to make decisions. And then, then again, you have this symptomology of gum bleeding or other things. But today we're talking about gum bleeding. So that's how those things start happening. So, and then, there are some people who hold on to guilt from old family stuff, old cultural stuff, old, even past lives. If someone found out something about a past life and now they're holding on to guilt about it, now there's twice as much work. Twice as much work. So I really caution people to go seek somebody about past lives, because that person has to really know how to help you deal with them and process them in the current life, typically what happens is majority of the people will ask about past lives out of curiosity to see if there's some repetitive pattern going on. And then, yeah, likely there is of some sort. The goal is to use it in its positive form, not in its negative form. Most people don't know how to turn negative things into positive. That's why I love what I do. I love helping people see the negative or the weakness of something and turn it into a positive trait. Absolutely love that. So guilt. So one of the things that we can do regarding guilt is to give ourselves the permission to say, hey, look, I did what I could at the time in the moment. That's all I had. Now, if you have not attempted to better yourself, the psyche is going to hold on to that guilt even more. If you have done some growth, awareness, tool building process to look at that situation on how to not repeat it unconsciously, right? Then the mind's going to say, okay, we can start easing this up because I know that we're doing some work around it. So that's the big thing with emotions and guilt specifically. And so, all right, so we've talked about the emotional part of guilt. The spiritual stuff, besides the karma, is the belief systems that hold the guilt in place regarding decision making, regarding feeling like your spiritual pursuit hasn't been declared, and or you made decisions against some kind of spiritual determination. And so the goal is to release that binding of bacteria guilt relationship, which again, the bacteria can, in and of itself, besides the food and all that sort of stuff that we talked earlier in part 1, that that can help resolve the building up and the accumulating of bacteria in the mouth. Okay? Sorry, my head. We have this new coming storm, which I'm grateful for. And at the same time, my head is not. As I'm talking to you, I'm feeling this heaviness over my eyes, so I apologize if I look like I'm falling asleep. I'm not. I'm totally into this. But my listening skills are slightly more slowed down, and so you can actually see me talking in my pausing moments, so it's just another side of me. What am I going to do? So I think I just want to make sure that I haven't missed anything in... oh, here's another thing that's interesting with the gums. So with the food part, we're talking about, strengthening the gums and teeth by chewing things that are hard, right? Biting on things that are hard. So that symbolized could also be, what do you hesitate taking a bite out of in your life? Whether it's relationship, whether it's a new habit, if it's a job, take a bite. See what happens. Chew it, right? The chewing part of it is that sort of initial processing. So if you have an inspiration and you don't activate it, you haven't even started processing. You have no idea what's going to happen. Take a bite, activate it in a small step if you have to, and swallow and go for it. See what happens. Right? So just an idea of how the symbolism of the symptoms that your body gives to you as a gift to show you that you need to pay attention. It may be in the foods, it may be an emotion. Don't get stuck with it's always an emotional thing. It may not be, right? So it's a balance. It's all about balance. It's all about balance. So with that, I am going to go make some celery juice. See if that will help the toxicity in my body right now. I don't know why. I didn't really eat anything poor. I think it's really just barometric pressure right now in my structure. And I wish you much health. Please look at your rainbow of food and, take control. Take some charge and make some decisions about bettering your life before you wait and get permission from someone else who doesn't know you other than for the 10 minutes that you live, that you are in their presence, to tell you whether you're doing all right or you're not doing all right. You should know yourself. You need to be your own advocate. And let me know if you have any questions. Please comment and bring up your own observations. I always love seeing everybody else's observations. And I will talk to you soon. Thank you so much. Bye.